Hi guys, how's it going? You may have heard in the news in the UK this week, the proposed knife law. I did a video on it last July. The new law concerning knives and the delivery of knives and the purchase of knives online comes into force in the next 2 weeks in the UK. It was announced this week. And it's effectively a ban. It's a law against posting knives to addresses, homes within the UK. This will no longer be allowed. It will be against the law to do this from now on. You'll probably end up in jail if you send someone a knife through the post now. So I knew this was coming because for the previous week or two we've had nothing but knife news on the news in the evenings, you know, and in the papers. Oh, knife crime's on the rise. So the government have obviously plugged the media and told them to, you know, to talk about all the knife crime that's going on because, hey, we're bringing this law in. So it ties in nicely with what we're doing and our tough stance on knife crime and this new law which is going to really kick their ass, and you know, they won't know how to get hold of a knife now. So it comes in this week, so I thought I'd document this and show you the last knife I will ever post to an address in the UK, because this knife is going out tomorrow, and it's a little bushcraft blade, a little bushcraft knife, and it's going out to a lady in Wales. It's a dangler, formerly veg tan sheath with a dangler and a matching fire steel. Some sort of browny coloured stitch in there. The knife is a gorgeous little knife, and it's a nice little handle to fit a lady's hand. Put the sheath down. It is 01 tool steel, Scandi, 600 grit finish with a satin kind of over polished brass pins, brass lanyard, tube, spalted beech, stabilised with no liners, and it sits in that little sheath and is ready to go to work. So the law comes in the next couple of weeks, and this is really gonna knock the crap out of them knife wielding thugs in London, because they will no longer be able to get a knife now. They can't order a knife off Amazon and get it delivered. They'll still be able to obviously raid the kitchen drawer and, you know, do a bit of shoplifting downtown. Go to the car boot sales, buy a handful of knives, you know, that sort of thing. They'll still be able to do that, but this knife ban is really going to knock them, isn't it? It also applies, the delivery ban also applies to all bladed objects, I believe. I'm not sure it applies to screwdrivers, sharp shards of glass, other pointed random pieces of metal, things like Toblerone. It's quite sharp Toblerone, especially if you was to throw a frozen piece of Toblerone at someone, you could have their eye out. So it doesn't apply to that. The other, the kitchen drawer thing, that's an amendment to the law that's coming out in July this year, I believe. So they also are bringing out another law which bans kitchen drawers. That law comes in, I think it's July, yeah. So that law also comes in July. There will be a total ban on kitchen drawers from now on. Stabbings are up, acid attacks are up. I mean, you can actually be walking around London, apparently, if you're 18 or over, with a bottle of acid in your hand, and you can be caught once and warned about it. But if you're caught a second time with a bottle of acid in your hand, I think you're probably going to be in trouble then. So that's a good strategy to start with, isn't it? You've allowed one. Of course, no criminals won't be able to receive knives bought online now, because apparently, I'm hoping anyway, that we're still going to be able to post knives in the UK, and sharp pointy objects, frozen chocolate included. We're still going to be able to post them, but I've read that we're going to have to send them to the nearest post office where that person lives, and then the person who receives the knife will have to go to the post office with ID to say they are a human being older than 12, and then they can take the knife home with them. Of course, a criminal will also be allowed to have the knife delivered to his local post office and just go in with his credit card, I guess, his debit card, his driving license, or whatever he's got, you know, his jail card, and say, yeah, that's me, and walk away with the knife. So his parole card, yeah. I'm sure the post office won't care, but who knows. So that's it, a little short bite and a little update from where I am. If Mario is watching, this won't affect you, Mario, because your knife is going to Canada. So, fingers crossed, we're okay posting to Canada, America, Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, France, Spain, Portugal, Europe. Anywhere in Europe, we're okay posting a knife there, because apparently their politicians have got more common sense than the UK politicians.com. So it's just it's the government's stupid way of appeasing the population. I mean, most of the population will just think that it doesn't really affect them, you know. The only time they use a knife is to butter the toast in the morning, so they're not bothered, and it just doesn't affect them at all. So they're just going to look at the news and say, oh, good on the government, they're doing something, they're getting tough on knife crime, that's good, it's about time they did something. Well, is it? No, they're not. I mean, a more common sense approach would be to just increase stop and searches, but you know, when you've cut the police force down to one policeman per, you know, 3 million people, then it's not really doable, is it? It's not the knife isn't the problem. The actual knife, the sharp screwdriver, the frozen Toblerone, they are not the problem. The problem is the people carrying them and using them as weapons. So, hello, if there's anyone from the government watching, why don't we target the people using them? Or not. Bye for now.